Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Star Blast Studios coming here with a brand new video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Demoniacal Fit Super Saiyan Blue Evolution and Super Saiyan God Vegeta accessories. So let's take a look at the boxes. So we do get a basic style box for the Demoniacal Fit line, and right here on this box we basically have a redo of the art that was shown for Vegeta. On this box right here, which was the original, the very first Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta type accessories that we've gotten that came along with Goku, and it's not anything special. We've come to know and understand this, and besides, they look badass. So you really don't need any of that any new art on there. Helps them keep the money low and helps keep these things affordable. So basically, same exact art for each and every single box, just colored differently for each form, and really that's about it. Everything that you've seen on these boxes are pretty much the same, except they're just in a different color. So I'm just gonna go over the Super Saiyan God and not go over this one because it's like there's no need to. There just really is no need to. So we do get it on here where it says transparent hair version Super Saiyan God Vegeta, which at first I thought they were spelling it like this so that, you know, people in the English audience would know how to pronounce it in Japanese, but that could be their way of making sure that they don't get copyrighted, or not copyrighted, they don't get sued by Tamashii Nations and Bandai. So that's a little interesting thing. On the bottom of the box, we get some warnings, but here's something I missed last time. It says right here it's associated with Demoniacal Fit or Demoniacal Fit. I don't actually know if that's the way that you pronounce it, but let me know if you actually know between Demoniacal Fit and Demoniacal Fit. So this logo right here, as I mentioned in my review of these things right here, what is this logo? If you guys can tell me what this logo is, I'd really appreciate that. I just kind of want to know. So we basically have pretty much everything that is the same on each side of the box. We got the instructions right there on how to apply everything, and we get the same thing on the side, and on the top there's nothing. We went up the bottom, so that's about it for the boxes. Let's stop wasting time and actually get into the main meat and potatoes of this review, because no one here wants to look at the box. Alright, and seeing these heads in actions, wait a minute. This is not the right body. This is the Premium Color Edition body. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit. But hey, if you ever want to mod this to go on to the body, you can definitely do that. So, sorry, silly noob. I know you asked about this. The head is not going to fit, so let's actually put this head on a body that will fit. Alright, so continuing this video before we were so enthusiastically interrupted, let's take a look at the Super Saiyan God head for starters. On the Majin Vegeta body, which is, this is my personal taste of choice because I can't find any images on Google right now when I look it up, but I could swear that when we saw Goku come out as a Super Saiyan God, like in the first Battle of Gods movie, there was a lot of fan art for Vegeta and a lot of interpretations of him in his Buu Saga outfit along with the Super Saiyan God. So that's why I kind of like put that head on there, just because, you know, it kind of gives me a little bit of a throwback to how, you know, it was when we first imagined Super Saiyan God Vegeta in the old days. So let's actually take a look at this head, and this is going to be something that's going to be hard to differentiate myself between being an average collector and being a guy who has to be fair to the accessories when it comes to being a reviewer and to give you guys the honest truth about these things. So Demoniacal Fit, I feel overall did a very good job. However, I find a lot of quality control issues along with the paint in the faces, but overall, let's actually get into the good things before we actually get into those quality control issues. So, with the Super Saiyan God Vegeta, just like last time, it is a type of hair that is translucent, but also applied with a lot of paint. So, if you don't want them to be like all translucent, all you got to do is turn off the lights, and it looks a lot nicer. It's one of those things that I love about the Demoniacal Fit accessories, where you can kind of choose the style, and in this case, it actually makes sense for Super Saiyan God, because in the movie Battle of Gods, Goku's hair at one point was like, it was magenta and it was dark red. The colors were not exactly consistent in the movie, but consistent where the colors weren't so the color changes in the hair just weren't noticeable until you rewatch the movie. Like, hey, that's a different color now. But it's not gonna be magenta like how it is on the Goku in Battle of Gods. But it's something that I do like, where this thing really does help fit the transformation with the color changes and whatnot. And actually, let's take out the original Super Saiyan God Goku from SH Figuarts, and honestly, this is something that a lot of people are going to be complaining about, and Demoniacal Fit did not make it so that so that their rendition of the Super Saiyan God Vegeta head kind of matches to how this Super Saiyan God Goku was painted for everyone. And honestly, I can see that as a valid complaint. However, this is not something that we are exactly new to. So let's put these off to the side for 1 second, and let me show you guys something that even Tamashii Nations did. These are from the official releases, people. So let's look at the Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta. Now, we have the same exact issue here, where it's like the way that they did Super Saiyan Blue on Goku, they decided to make him all, it was painted and it was like pencil shading, and it is definitely, I think for a lot of people this came out nicely. A lot of people I know didn't like it, but we've all grown to accept it at some point. And for Vegeta, obviously on the Super Saiyan Blue version of the Resurrection F Vegeta, the blue on here is painted completely differently. It's done with I think it's done with really nice paint, but clearly the point here that I'm trying to make is these two things are not the same type. They're not painted the same way. They're not going to be looking the same for each form. And that is why, me personally, I can excuse this, but it's two different companies. So really, from that honest standpoint, if it was from the same company, I would say, yeah, that's kind of a valid complaint. But this is a secondary company that makes these things to go with SH Figuarts. So you don't need to have them all completely matching up with the Super Saiyan God. They could have done it, but this is their own vision. This is their own take on it. So even if the paint on here is like different, you can honestly tell that they're still in the same forms. I feel like these guys look great together, even when the bodies, it doesn't even matter the body, just the heads by themselves. I think they did a good enough job where that it still goes good along with this one, as long as it's under the proper lighting in your house. You know what I mean. Where they're gonna be on the shelves if you ever want to put them together. But yeah, that's enough about the Super Saiyan. Let's talk about the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. So right over here, I really like the new color blue that they have on here with this Vegeta. There is complaints on here that I'm gonna have, just like with Super Saiyan God, that I need to address because it's my job as a reviewer. But right now, let's just appreciate this paint, man. Like, changing out the lights like last time, oh man, that glow just looks awesome. I just love this effect. I know it's not for everyone, but man, they did a good enough job once again putting in just the right amount of paint and making it a lot less translucent, than they make it out to be in pictures, just by changing out the lights, like I've already said. And really, man, they did an overall good job. Now, for those of you that need to have that detail, he does have his pupils. However, here's a little bit of an issue I have. I feel like the pupils here, they're just really, really hard to see. And, I don't blame them for having this much trouble. But I mean, what they did here was they made the eyes, I think they made the eyes the same color as the eyebrows. Yeah, they definitely did. And, I feel like if they had given a different color of blue for the pupils here, not the pupils, for the eyes. They could have made the pupils in the actual eyes stand out a lot more, but so when you're looking at it from afar now, you can't see those pupils, and I feel like that's kind of a problem, considering with the way that they painted it, but it's not really a big deal. Definitely not a deal breaker by any means, and, you know, that's just how it is. So, you know, if you're familiar with my review of the the Monocle Fit version, let's actually compare these two. So, yeah, do you guys personally think that there is enough differentiation right here between the two heads? Comment down below. Me personally, okay, and I actually don't, before you say anything, before I say anything about what I think of these two, I actually want you to form your own opinion. Before I say anything, because if I can obviously like make you change your opinion, but I just want you guys to have an opinion and not just be, you know, wanting to like take everything that I say for anything. So looking at these, I feel like there is enough difference between the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution and the Super Saiyan Blue, and you know the darker shade of blue really does do a good job with the contrast and the colors, good enough that, you know, when these two figures are side by side, you can say that, yeah, wait a minute, this is not the same. This must be a completely different transformation. And that is why I just like what they did here with the Super Saiyan Blue. They did a good job with the colors. They made you feel like this is a different transformation from Super Saiyan Blue. They could have been lazy and just got this figure and just gave him pupils. you know, you really think about it like that. This probably would not have sold well if they actually just took this and then gave it pupils. Honestly, though, this color change, that they did a really good job. I love what they did with this. So let me actually do my job now and be a figure reviewer and actually show you guys what the problem is that I'm having with these faces. Let's take a look at them. First off, starting with Super Saiyan God. Alright, so we'll start from left to right on these faces. So starting off right here with the actual paint on this face. So here's where the complaint is coming, and I bet you guys can see it. Right over here around the Widow's Peak, they didn't do a very clean job of, you know, the paint, you know, the red on the paint staying where it is. You can see that the paint is in fact bleeding a lot onto the skin tone, and you know that is, I feel, something very disappointing, considering we really did not see that much of it on the original Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that came from Demoniacal Fit, you know, the very first one that came out. And I honestly feel like they did a good job with the faces overall, but these kind of seem rushed to make sure that they get out and they have the, you know, they don't need to focus on that. But, and that's just my honest opinion, man. They just feel a little bit rushed. They don't bother me as much because it's like this camera that I'm using is highly detailed. So to the naked eye, for example, this screaming face, it's really not going to be noticeable. But from a guy who has to take these things and review them and analyze them, I gotta tell you guys straight up that, you know, the paint on there, it just doesn't look really good, at least on camera. Naked eye, it's fine. That's real. I made this all seem like it's going to be some crazy type of thing. Actually, I think the paint on the smirking face came out the better than all three of them. You know, it's really just a quality control issue, and it's probably just on mine. However, actually, no, it's not just on mine. I've seen other reviewers, you know, talk about these faces, and they have had very similar issues. So let me actually show you guys what I meant by the Super Saiyan blue faces actually, looking better with it, at least paint-wise. I mean, like I said, the paint on here just isn't perfect, but I feel like this is definitely a lot better than what we got with Super Saiyan God. I mean, you're looking at it, this is actually the level that we're at with regular figures from SH Figure Arts. This is why these were appreciated so much. There's a little bit of scuffing. That's actually something I forgot to mention. There is a little bit of scuffing that comes on these Demoniacal Fit figures. You know, You just got to rub them off, and you know you'll be good to go. You don't let any of that bother you. So I mean, yeah, looking at the smirking face too for the original Super Saiyan Blue, there just isn't as, it's just not as bad with the detail, with the paint slipping off into other areas of the figure as it is with Super Saiyan God. And you know, that could just be because I was the one who was lucky at least with this. Maybe when I did my review of these, yeah, like looking here at the base form, it's not exactly the detail. In this case, the skin tone is bleeding onto the hair, and man, my fingernail is dirty. Ew. But yeah, that just does not look as good as it should for most of these things. But I mean, really, they're passable. They're really not that bad. I know it sounds, I'm gonna get criticized for going a little bit too hard on them when I'm talking about these. And yes, they're a bootleg company. They're not the official. But I need to be fair with what I'm reviewing right here. I don't in any way hate these things. Let's take out the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution heads and actually take a look at them. The paint-wise, I think on this one it came out pretty cleanly. There is still a little bit of bleeding, but really nothing to worry about. I think you're pretty good to go. Oh man, there is actually just that weird bit of extra, like, thing right there on top of his mouth. Man, what is that? Still though, not seeable to the naked eye. I feel like they did a really good job though. It almost looks official. Whoops, dropped that. Well, I mean, I'm kind of done with that face anyway. Let's look at this one. How did this one come out? It came out pretty good. It's definitely better than Super Saiyan God. I feel like even though there is a little bit of paint bleeding on there, it's still, I feel like this is the best one that we've seen for all of them. And as for the screaming face, okay, that is where the scuffiness that I'm talking about kind of occurs, where you can still see a little bit of it in the mouth, but literally you can just rub it off. It is kind of a hard place to kind of get into, to kind of rub it off just because it's in his mouth. So I'm probably just gonna get like a small little, like a toothpick or something. It's actually fitting because it's like it is in his mouth. But yeah, just get a toothpick. You'll be able to rub that weird stuff off in his mouth, and you should be good to go. But yeah, anyway, overall, as much criticism as I've been giving these accessories, I feel like they did an overall great job with them. They're really good, and they're only 20 bucks a piece. And for those of you guys that may find it harder to be able to collect these because of the prices, let me give you guys a way that you can still have a good Vegeta and have it be in this same armor, but for a cheaper price. So let's just put it off to the side. Now, the thing that I'm gonna be, this advice that I'm gonna be giving you guys is not sponsored, but on Big Bad Toy Store currently, there is this Saiyan Armor Trunks that originally came out for 50 bucks, but is now on Big Bad Toy Store only $30. And the Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta and the Super Saiyan God Vegeta, they all fit, all the heads fit on this body pretty well, just as well as they fit on the bodies that they are on right now, as well as the original Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that we've already taken a look at multiple times. It does fit on there. And Demoniacal Fit have actually revealed that they are making their own version of a Super Saiyan Vegeta, as well as a base form Vegeta, so you don't need to go and spend $50 to $100 more just to be able to get those heads. Because if you're the kind of guy who all you care about is getting this on the Saiyan armor body, and you don't mind that this body is a little bit taller than the regular Vegeta body, then I feel that for those that want to do this, this is the way to go. Just get the heads from Demoniacal Fit and put it on this Saiyan Armor Trunks body, and you should be good. Don't worry about this little scratch right here in there, because that's just a QC issue. I hope you don't have that on your trunks if you decide to do this. But yeah, overall, guys, that is my review of the Demoniacal Fit Super Saiyan God Vegeta and Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta heads accessories. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming over to this channel and giving me a chance to kind of review these things. And I will have more stop motions up soon, because I know that's what you guys love about this channel. But anyway, guys, I will be happy to talk to you guys in the comment section about these things, and I'll see you there soon. Until then.